Open, hosted by the Racquet Club of Chicago. At the receiving end, from the Moral Tennis Court Club, Darren Long and Bertie Vallat from the Queen's Club. At the serving end, from the Racquet and Tennis Club, we have Barney Tanfield and Freddie Bristowe. Checking his DMs quick. Who's serving? This is best of 5 6-game sets. I think Barney's serving.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Racquet Club of Chicago. We're in for a great match here. Barney Tanfield, Freddie Bristowe against Darren Long and Bertie Vallat.
15
Good serve to start. Who do you like here in this match, Jack?
I think it's a really tough one to call. Just saying, I think it's been really, really close. Bertie will be a bit disappointed with the first couple of points, but yeah, I don't think there's much in it. I'm going to go with Darren Long and Bertie in 5.
So John Lumley and I have actually played against Barney and Freddie in the last 2 US Opens. Freddie, a little unlucky there, hitting the band out twice by the winning gallery. Yeah, so we played them in Philadelphia in 2024 and also Westwood last year in 2025, and they're a really strong pair. A lot of good play, good cohesion, and I think they're going to be it's going to be a close match, but they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
40 love to receive as Chase is worse than 2 yards.
We just happen to actually play the winners of this match in the quarterfinals on Sunday, whoever gets through, so may well be 3 years on the trot.
Game to receiver's first game, that's 1 game to love.
So yeah, they obviously got the experience of playing together. I'm not sure how much Bertie and Darren, if ever, have played together. So obviously that will count in their favour. It's important for Darren and Bertie that they got off to a strong start here.
Thank you, 15 love.
Yeah, nice finish there.
So what's your score predictions for this match, Steve?
So I've got the receivers winning in, let's call it 4 sets.
30 love. Love. 15-40. Game to service, tied at 1 game all, 1-all.
Darren's found a pretty tidy 1 bounce railroad there, giving Freddie a few issues, but a player of his caliber, I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out.
2 very quick games to start.
False. Chase the last gallery. No strokes, 1 chase.
I feel like all the players in the tournament are still experimenting with the serving. Now, without giving too much away, do you want to give us some insight into serving on this court?
That's well played. Yeah, you know, it's an interesting one. All the serves work here. You just have a slightly smaller landing zone. So the areas where they do work well are a little bit smaller than other courts. So precision serving is paramount here. So it's going to be a test of everyone's accuracy on their serves this week.
Score is level. First chase is the last gallery. Last gallery.
Right.
15 love, chase better than 4 yards. $15 all. Chase better than the door. Score is 15 all. And chase worse in second gallery. 2 chases.
Yeah, so pretty even to start off with. A lot of points went from the service end, and birdie struck in that force pretty well. So out of these 4 players, do you think that they're stronger at playing singles or doubles?
That's a great question. I mean, the two I'm more familiar with, obviously, in England are Bertie and Darren. Darren seems to be quite a talented doubles player. Whereas I'd probably put Bertie in the category of being a predominantly singles player.
Yeah, he's probably a little more experienced playing singles and still learning his craft on the doubles court.
I think Darren's comfortable, very comfortable on the doubles court.
Yeah. It's a great return there by Barney.
It'll just be interesting to see how they work together. 2 different styles, and must be what, 20, almost 20 years between them.
Yeah. I think they may have played together at the British Open last year.
The service lead, chases Hazard, half a yard. Hazard. Both. Out of court. Game to a service. They lead by 2 games to 1.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's a hazard chase. Birdie doesn't like to cut into that gallery for some reason. He likes to drive the ball.
I was expecting him to go for that gallery there.
Yeah, that's like that was a small opportunity. Had a bit of angle to work with, but took on the force instead.
Shot, Freddie.
15 love.
So it looks like Tanfield and Bristowe are just playing with the server going up to the galleries. They're trusting each other at the back of the court.
13 love.
It's short. I want you to take it.
$15.30.
Good angle.
It's good width there by Darren. Tighten that sidewall.
Votes.
Nice volley by Freddie. What have you found a particular serve that you've liked serving this week and had some success with?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sort of sidewall underarm twist works quite well. It comes out a bit wider than you'd expect, so it's quite easy to get a bit too close on the cut volley. So that works fairly well. And also, I avoided serving the railroad for a bit because obviously it doesn't kick that much off the back wall. But to be honest, when I started playing with the railroad, as long as you can keep it short and to a good length, I thought it worked fairly well. So you have to adapt it. But
All right, the New York pair jumped out to a little lead here, 3-1.
yeah, they're looking strong.
Yeah, with this penthouse being a little bit steeper, if you can get that ball up and the underarm twists.
And that's the serve you want to avoid.
Yeah, it's just sitting up on the tee for Barney.
Going for it again. There we go.
And bet in the second gallery, 2 chases, 15 love.
I don't know how much longer he's going to be serving that middle of the court railroad for.
Yeah, especially it took 3 bounces on the penthouse.
Yeah, ends up in the middle of the court, and that's just like practice for Barney.
It's good to see Barney
15 love service
here.
first
He
chase is better
had to
than
drop out of
first
the
gallery.
singles event, which was a shame.
Yeah, we're sorry that he had to drop out of the qualifier. That's a good shot, but just great that he could still make the doubles.
Bet on the second gallery. Folds.
Nice play from both sides.
Yeah, some good stuff in there. Ball has a tendency to go out of court at straight force.
Chase more than a yard worse than the last gallery. 30-15, 1 chase.
Going in.
30 or 1 chase, 30
Kind of
or.
a pivotal point coming up here.
Good shot.
40, 31 chase.
It's where, recognizing in that moment, if Barney can do a good tight serve there, get the point, 40-30, and then they're attacking, at game point, and they can jump out to 4-1. That's it. This is kind of a big swing. They, now the servers can maybe just hit the hazards after the return, and then it's 2-3, and they're kind of back in it.
40-30 service.
Big game.
Chases more than a yard
Big game,
worse
big
than the
point.
last gallery.
Massive point. More than a yard worse.
More than a yard worse than the last gallery.
Wow.
Juice.
What a shot. So difficult to win those chases on doubles court. Not much space to work with.
I would have loved to have seen
Advantage to
Birdie
the servers.
standing up there defending last gallery, just adding a layer of pressure on Freddie there.
Ooh.
Game to the servers, 2 games to 3.
They got away with it. Now the servers are back in it.
Rally.
Chase.
That's well played. So Freddie's, it's almost like playing a lefty. He's very strong on that backhand side from under the grill. You're playing later on today in the doubles, Jack?
I am indeed. I think the last match on. Oh. Play Bertie.
You guys have Max Truman and Henry Hemmon, I believe.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Have you played those guys in doubles before?
I've never played Max or Henry in doubles or singles. And it's always really nice to play new players. Practiced with Henry quite a bit.
That's a great play there by Birdie.
30-15, 1 chase.
Clawing their way back into it, huh?
Yeah, getting that 3-1 game I think was big. That's some serious heat there by Barney.
So what's Freddie's story? So he went to Wellington College.
Yeah, went to Wellington where he played his rackets and tennis, and then I believe moved back stateside and was deciding where he was going to go to university. Ended up settling on Penn, and so he was able to continue his progress up the ranks with his real tennis and his rackets.
Worse than 3 yards. Worse than 3.
Now, having finished university, working in New York and playing predominantly out of the New York Racket and Tennis Club.
Advantage to servers. Time, thank you, Darren.
Serve good?
Out of court, thank you. Game to servers. They lead by 4 games to 2. First set, 4-2.
Barney and Freddie be feeling pretty good now. Back out to a 2-game lead at the service end.
15 love.
Yeah, it'll be back to Freddie. It'll be interesting to see how he progresses with his rackets and tennis, how much he competes in each of the sports, and how much he's work will allow him to travel and play.
all.
I haven't seen him a great deal this year in the tournaments. This is the first tournament I've been to which he's been involved in. I'm sure he's played all the stuff in America.
Yeah, so we hadn't seen him here in Chicago competing in a tournament, and now he's been here twice in pretty quick succession with the US Open rackets here a few weeks ago.
That's really nice, Willie.
Yeah, US Open rackets was a few weeks ago here, and he played exceptionally well, made it to the doubles final. Now he's back for the tennis.
30-40. Out of court. Juice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Advantage to service.
Just a perfect spot over and around Darren and Birdie. That's just too good.
Votes.
See if they can take this game point, make it 5-2.
Yeah, it's a set point for me right here. If they get this, go to 5-2. I think the set's over.
That's a good shot. It's the one.
Game 2, service 5 games to 2.
Let's go right now. First ball.
Yeah, definitely going to be hard to stop from here in this first set.
Out of court. 15 love.
Freddie had kind of let him off the hook there a little bit. He had another clean look at the winning gallery and decided to go in a different direction.
Love.
Have you played much with Zach Edel before?
The qualifying match was our first match together. We've never played each other in singles, never practiced together before we came here, but I think that showed in our first set. We lost the first set, but then we found our rhythm and really enjoyed it. I think our styles complemented each other quite well.
Fantastic.
Welcome, Vallat.
Votes. Shot. 30-40.
Amor Tambor is pretty vicious here. The balls are incredibly smooth and fast, and that ball gets around the striking receiver pretty quickly.
Votes.
Oh, what a point.
You're right.
That's a great rally there.
I thought they had a few chances to go for the galleries
Sorry, guys.
on the receiving end, but
Yeah, they just don't see that as an option at the moment for some reason.
Advice to receivers.
Good idea there by Barney, but just angle slightly off.
As a secondary.
so you're playing doubles with John Lumley,
Yeah, John Lumley and I teaming up in this tournament.
number 2 seeds in the event.
We are the 2 seeds, yes.
And you must be feeling pretty good about your chances.
Yeah, it's nice to be back on the home court, and John and I have had some success, played well in the world doubles in the past year, so yeah, we're looking forward to this event.
And you've got when do you have your first doubles match?
First doubles match is on Sunday at 12 noon against against the winner of this match.
Look forward to that. I'm sure you have some great support from the club members and locals.
Yeah, we'll have, Wednesday night was an unbelievable crowd. There must have been nearly 100 people here at the cocktail party watching my singles match with Henry. So, yeah, the support you receive from the club here is absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
So you're scoring juice.
Oh.
That's great, guys. It's pretty sort of clear to see that this court, with the floor being so smooth and true, and the walls, there are very few racket errors from players, unforced or forced, really. Just great target hitting to finish points off. All right, 3-5. Interesting. Let's see if Barney and Freddie are happy at the hazard end, teeing off, or they want to try and get back serving again. It's kind of pretty common to see this week, the balls being so fast. A lot of people, they're both standing up on the side and back penthouse, just overhitting a little bit. Yeah, it's a really tough read with the net cord. Timing's bound to be off there. Looks like Barney's got that angle worked out pretty well. Bit of a win-win. It's either in the dead on or in the last gallery. That's too good.
30-15. Anyone takes last gallery.
Darren looks like he's a bit of a sitting duck up there, better than last gallery, kind of not defending the galleries, but up a little too far and just too much pressure. Play a good volley there.
Yeah, so Tanfield and Bristowe will be looking to win this set, the first opportunity, this first set point, I believe.
Yeah, set point number 1, so
40-15
okay,
to
you know,
the service.
good quality
Takes the
serve,
last gallery.
hit a hazard and get ready for set 2.
Game and the first set to the service.
There
6
we are,
games
first set to
to
Barney and
Kareem.
Freddie, 6-3.
Servers lead by 1 set to Love. Second set, Love all.
Didn't seem to be much in it there, but servers did just enough to get through.
Thank you, Court. 15 Love.
15.
Yeah, 15 Love.
15. Sorry, I forgot. Wait a mark.
Pressed by Bristowe.
Yeah, no, he's
That's so
seen that ball off the main wall pretty well, and it's a pretty common occurrence here. Hitting that ball at the right height, the right angle, down the tambour, and it'll go flush with the back wall.
Sorry. 13-15, ball up, Barney. Thank you. Oh. 40-15.
Barney's going to want to tighten his serve up just a little bit. He's starting to serve not quite as tightly as he was in the first set.
Great volley.
Great length there by
30-40.
Freddie, but well played by all the guys.
So do you think Freddie's backhand is his best shot? And volley maybe? It's pretty strong to me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Juice.
He is very strong on the backhand, whether I believe he's stronger than his forehand. I think they're pretty even, but he's particularly strong on that backhand side
Votes.
compared to the majority of right-handers.
Advantage to the
Top shot there by
receivers.
Darren. Great force to be able to get over that ball. Nice touch there by Freddie. How long have you worked at Hampton Court Palace for now, Jack?
I believe it's coming up to 5 years actually now. Or it's 4 years, let me think. Been in the game for 5 years.
Good.
Advantage to the
Got to take this
receivers.
now.
Maybe a slightly ambitious shot there, playing that one on the run from that far forward, but it was a good attempt.
second gallery.
Yeah, good decision.
Decision, yeah. So how did it come about that you became the assistant pro at Hampton Court Palace?
So I had never heard of the sport until I graduated from uni. I went to university in Nottingham,
Okay.
in England, and then I think I found this job advert for the Investing in Professionals program
Yes.
via the Sport England website. And basically had a look at that, got invited down to meet Chris Bray and go on the court and show me what the job looks like. And then,
Okay.
yeah, from there, started at Middlesex 5 years ago as a trainee. Second gallery chase. Oh, unlucky.
First game of the second set, one game.
Yeah, it's just at the outer court line. It's yeah, slightly unfortunate, but good start this set by Darren and Birdie.
15 love.
Great shot. Is this your first time in Chicago, Jack?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's absolutely great. Fantastic event. Really enjoying being here. The club's fantastic. You've got a great setup.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to hosting the players here for a while now. We're happy that everyone's enjoying themselves and had a good time at the buffet last night.
Yeah, oh,
Hats off to the
too much of a good time.
Yeah, food and beverage team here at the club, putting on an amazing spread for everyone and looking after the players all week with breakfast, lunch and dinner.
15 up to service. First chase is better.
Yeah, really impressive here. Facilities and the service and everything. It's great. Better than 3.
Lost the chase by one.
Oh, good leave. Surprised he went down the line with that shot.
Very love to
Yeah,
service. They got a hazard half a yard.
Chance to attack into that backhand corner, but chose the line instead.
Oh, good shot.
Really nice shot.
15-30.
Tough angle.
Still been close to chase off on the floor, but Birdie decided to give it a go.
That's a good point, actually.
Worse than 6 yards. 30,
May well have,
15, one chase.
The point if they left that.
Yeah, maybe it was just too close to take, and he was in good position to just hit it.
Oh,
40, 15, one chase.
Good fortune there by Freddie. I think Birdie had that ball covered if it had gotten over. Not hit the tape. And ended up being a perfect roller.
To receivers. Chase worse than 6 yards. Worse than 6 yards. Daddy 40 time,
Yeah,
please.
really nice finish there by Birdie.
clinical.
Thank you.
But his target hitting's improved a lot over the recent months.
Both.
Yeah, definitely tightened up his technique a little bit. It's definitely improved his accuracy.
Juice. How's the second gallery? Score is Juice, 1 chase. And chase better than the first gallery. It's 2 chases. Juice.
All right, after a fairly sort of straightforward first set, pretty quick. The second set's definitely tightened up here. Seems to be very, very close.
Score is Juice, first chase is Hazard, second gallery. Hazard.
Wow.
Point.
Sure.
Advantage receivers chase better than the first gallery.
Barney didn't have much chance of defending that one.
So it's point Juice. No chase time, thank you.
Right here.
Great finish by Freddie.
Votes.
A common theme this week, everyone's serving just a little bit long. Maybe the penthouse is more lively than people are anticipating.
Thank you. Advantage to service.
Just about.
Votes.
No, it's out.
Thank you. Juice.
Break him off.
Post game. Ready to serving to Darren. Oh,
Advantage to receivers.
there was no doubt in Barney's mind there. He thought that was going up. Good chance. Bring it back to Juice.
Juice.
It looks like they're preferring to see Darren force off the volley rather than the forehand. By serving. Trying to keep it off the back wall seems to be the strategy. It's a little bit long. That's probably why they want to keep it short. It's just too much heat off that forehand. Doesn't seem to be able to generate the same power off the volley.
Advantage to service. Out of court. Juice.
How many juices have we got, Ryan? Do we know? No idea. Must be at least 5 or 6, 7.
I think we're near a 7 or 8.
Yeah.
would be my guess.
Second gallery. Score is Juice, 1 chase.
Steve, are you aware of the longest game you've been involved in, whether that's playing or marking?
Longest marking is a good question. I'm not sure about that one, but definitely playing the longest one, I believe, was the semi-finals of the 2020 US Open doubles. Ben Matthews and I played John Lumley and Nick Howe.
Advantage to the
And we
receiver.
managed to get the better of them,
Chases the
6-4
second gallery.
in the 5th. I believe the match went for somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.5 hours. So they could finish there by Darren.
By another juice.
I hope we have the streaming extraordinaire,
Advantage to
Ryan
the
Carey,
service.
here also.
Vote.
Just a couple of world-class gets right there. Really good stuff.
There it is.
Game to service.
That's the game.
2 games to love. Second set. 2 love.
And what about an individual game? Any stick out to you?
That's a really good question. Nothing that comes immediately to mind. I have to have a look through the memory bank for that one.
I think the longest game I've been
yourself.
involved in was actually involved Bertie in the summer in the Champions Trophy. He was playing against Levi Gale, and I believe it was 4 games all. And it was 1 set to 9, 4 games all. I think it took about half an hour, that one game.
Wow.
At least half an hour. And just like today, he did come out on top of that one.
Love.
When you start to think that maybe, you know, the Mercier or 40-all game ball might be a good strategy, just at the, maybe the 20-minute mark. This is a pretty common occurrence when one team or player wins a very long game. Sometimes they just get through the next game quite quickly, having gathered that little bit of momentum.
Oh. Wow. What a point.
Some great stuff there. Great Darren in particular, 2 unbelievable volley defenses of the down.
The main was brilliant shot.
Yeah, just throwing everything at it, putting his body on the line. That's what you expect from Darren.
Is it red mark? Is it this one?
Yeah. This one, yeah. Yeah.
30 love to the receivers. First chase is the second gallery.
Mm.
40 love chase worse than the second gallery.
You'll get it.
Worse than second, yeah. No. Yeah. Lost the chase, felt better than first. 15-40.
Darren was kind of caught in 2 minds there. Wasn't quite sure what shot he was going to choose to hit.
Thank you, Adicott. 30-40.
Yeah, not quite sure what Birdie's trying to do with that ball. Caught in 2 minds again, a little bit like Darren, whether they sort of chip it in the corner or hit a main wall dead on.
Game to receivers, 3 games to love. Second set, 3 love. Play, Barney. 15 love.
Yeah, great stuff by Barney there, really. Solid defense.
All. Time, Freddie, time. Daddy, 15.
Yeah, just having a little bit more success against Darren returning, trying to keep that ball off the back wall. It's tougher to force that ball.
Daddy, oh.
This point.
Wow.
Juice.
He's got it, but again, great defensive volley by Barney. Back to deuce.
Advantage to the service. Time, thank you.
Darren's saying he doesn't come forward on this call. I think he's got a point there on off the Tamberg to the sidewall.
So just as a general rule, the grippier that battery wall is, the more it's going to spring forward to the hazard. So the fact that there isn't a ton of grip, that's too good on these walls, means that yeah, it's going to just come out neutral or slightly back if the balls are newer. All right, that was a big game for the service. Bring it back to 1-3 instead of 4-love. 4-love, the set's pretty much done. Now they're back in it.
15 love.
Unlucky there.
Positive.
Yeah, I think the servers are about to make a little run.
Ooh. Wow.
It was the pure definition of caught in two minds. Late change and ended up turning out all right.
Well, that change of mind would have cost him, but
Yeah.
did really well.
Yeah, it's when you're as fast as Freddie is.
Whoa.
Good shot.
Good shot, Barney. 40 love.
Looking like a classic case of one game, sometimes meaning you win 2 games. Getting that momentum back and now kind of sprinting through the next game.
Great serve.
Game to service is 2
Quick game
games
for
to
Tanfield
3.
Bristowe.
Yeah, they've got to turn the tide here a little bit, change it up, just get a gallery and stop the momentum.
15 love. Both.
I feel like Bristowe and Tanfield are very in sync when they're playing. This looks very natural.
Yeah, they played doubles together a lot. They're a very, very good team.
There's never any doubt over who's taking the ball, when to leave it for each other.
No, I agree.
Pretty smooth.
Chase better than 4 yards. 30 love, service lead, 1 chase.
Who put the tabler there? Yeah.
Good strike. It definitely
15, 30.
I think,
I don't know how they go in.
hit Barney there. But yeah, you'll see some unusual angles and results from shots here.
Stop. Your ball, he's out.
That's a good lead for Hazard. Yeah, with the ledges rounded here to protect the armor coat walls. You'll see lots of balls kind of stay in play and some different angles off the back edges and ledges.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the court, when it was built and how it was built and stuff?
Yeah, so the court originally, the club's 1922. The court was completed in 1924 and became one of the first indoor tennis courts here in Chicago. Shortly after that, right around the Second World War, and then back in 2012, the decision was made to restore the court to its original glory, which I was obviously thrilled about. Being fortunate enough to be the person to teach everyone here how to play and bring court tennis back to Chicago.
Awesome. And what year did you say that was?
That was 2012.
2012, yeah.
Yeah, it was an indoor tennis court during that period leading up to 2012, but with the main wall pretty close to the tram line. It was predominantly for a court for juniors to play on, as well as the members.
Better than 4. That's good. That's unlucky. Good teamwork.
1 yard. Hazard.
He seemed like he was
Yeah.
just being careful with it, not wanting to hit it too high into the galleries.
Big point, big game. Oh, that's a great shot. Wow. Well played, Bertie.
Yeah, just a superb get. May or may not have beaten the hazard. And Freddie was right there and decided to take it on.
Chase worse than the door. 40-30 or 1 chase.
So Barney and Freddie kind of back in it. Bernie managed to get plenty of bounce off that back wall. Getting it back over the net and keep it in play.
40-30 to
Worse than the door.
service. Chase is worse than
We've got
the
a railroad
door.
coming up here.
Yeah, it looks like it. I reckon it has to be the serve on this chase. Freddie's serving it quite well, actually. Oh.
Game to service. 3 games all. Second set.
Yeah, it's
3
just a
all.
slightly tentative turning point there by Darren. Would have loved to have seen him take on Chase the Door or second gallery in that first shot.
15 love.
Yeah, that's quality return there by Birdie. Great touch.
$15
Yeah, it must hurt their confidence a little bit, losing that three-game lead in this second set.
Yeah, as we know, as is the case with most games, this one's all about momentum. Yeah, Barney and Freddie getting on the board at 1-3 was a pretty big moment.
Chase worse than 6 yards. 30-15, one chase.
Almost took them both out in one shot. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier with those rounded ledges and
30-15
edges
service, one
of
chase.
that gallery. I've been on the receiving end being hit by a shot like that before, so I know it all too well.
Votes! Has it worse than 2 yards, 2 chases,
I'm not sure if that was the best choice Barney could have made, but in the end, I think, yeah, it was a Barney choice. Yeah, that was a good call by King Carey there.
30-15, the receivers lead.
Both those boys did quite well to avoid that ball, to be honest.
6 yards.
Worse than 6.
Right serve. 30, we got a hazard worse than 2 yards. Hazard.
Wow.
40,
Good shot.
It was indeed. He had to get up there. It was hazard worse than 2.
Fair play to Darren for actually trying to get it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Game to receivers. 4 games to 3.
Big turnarounds.
Yeah, so I'm going to go on a limb here and say that Barney and Freddie are going to power through this set now. That was a huge game, win the vital 7th. Just 40-30 up. Would have loved Darren to have been a little bit more focused on the ball, not necessarily where the other guys were.
That's a good shot.
15-0. Vote.
John's pretty happy he's not in that marker's box right now. Ball rocketing around.
Oh, you can't read it.
30-15.
No, it's a pretty good bobble and even better return.
30. Has it better than 1 yard. Score is 30 or 1 chase. Yes. Shot. 40-31 chase is a hazard.
See Barney there just hanging back on the winning gallery line, not able to cut that ball off. It was probably his ball.
Game points. to Darren and Bertie, having lost the last 4 games in a row.
Falling down into receivers. We got a hazard better than 1 yard.
So hazard. What's the game?
Game to receivers. 4 games all.
The big one.
4 all.
Back even at 4-all. Who's your money on from here?
I think I'm going to go with Tanfield and Bristowe 6-4 for this set. It's just looking really strong. But that could have been a big game, you never know. I think on the serving end they look really good.
Yeah, it just seems like if they serve,
Folks.
yes, that serve in pretty tight. They're in a good spot.
Oh yeah, what a
Yeah,
shot.
that's too good. And then if it's a little bit looser, the receivers will have a chance to get into the point. So it's really on Barney's racket here.
Folks.
Top shot.
40 love.
First ball I got over the net, it was on the penthouse. So that, Pretty good shot.
15, 40.
Maybe Barney was reading Bandow there. Again, probably too close to take.
Yeah. He thinks that it's a bit lower than it is.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played much on this court, I'm guessing, over the years. First match of this tournament.
Game to service. 5 games to 4.
Normal service resumed.
Yeah, it's just a few National League matches he's had here and a couple of US Opens, but yeah, not a whole lot. Just short.
Great race.
Yeah, it's just a really solid defensive point there by Bertie and Darren. It's great to see. Freddie looks like he's forgetting to see if his partner's ready before he serves. That's the second time it's happened.
Eager to get on with it.
Yeah.
Stop. You got it. Stop.
Wow.
That's a really nice touch.
That's a beautiful shot.
15 all.
Probably the first rule of doubles when you're about to serve. Make sure your partner's ready though.
You.
Yeah. 30, 15.
Well done. Great job. You. That's really good.
30 all.
It's really good. You.
played there by Barney. That ball was pretty tight in that back wall. Okay, set point number 1 of set 2.
Well, there's not enough intent from Darren and Bertie to get down this end. It's really difficult for them. Set point. Oh, good finish from Freddie on his backhand.
To a serve, 6 games to 4. Servers lead by 2 sets.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, when you're playing against a pair that are so organised offensively and defensively, it's very hard to win from that receiver's end, just bombing away towards that dead-on area. And it's not the largest dead-on in the world either, so.
15, love.
Facility.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
We're going to see a big push here from Darren and Bertie. What do you think?
Well, if we are, I think they need to get down to that serve again, because at the moment they don't look interested in it. Love to see Darren go for the gallery here. Wide open. Great points. Great point.
Yeah, it seems like the game plan is to win it from the hazard end, which I'm not saying it can't happen, but
We've just seen there, he's hit like 4 or 5 brilliant shots in a row and they just come back with interest.
yeah, exactly.
Dario.
Yeah, it's just a great serve there by Barney.
40-30. Vote.
There you go, he's on it for them.
First gallery, 40-30, 1 cheat.
Yeah, Freddie's slightly unlucky there, hitting that back edge of the winning gallery. You kind of feel like Bertie and Darren need the first game of this set.
Yeah, they need to start well here. Otherwise, Tanfield and Bristowe could run away with it.
Yeah.
And it's looking like that. I think the shot selection from Darren and Bertie has changed a little bit over the as they've gone down in the match, and I think they're trying to force it a bit too much, force the issue. Was a bit more controlled in the first set, taking their chases and taking the chances a bit more clinically.
40-30 to the receivers. We got a hazard first gallery. Hazard.
Big point.
That's too good.
Game to
Yeah, I mean, when you see
receivers, first
Barney
game
and
of the
Freddie
first set, 1 game
both
to
standing
love.
back at worse than 2 in front of the dead on, that's a extremely difficult pairing to get past.
Shot.
Again, just with that main more tambour being so effective here, you think it's just a slightly easy way for Darren and Birdie to win some points. Good serve, Darren bringing the railroad back.
Time. Love.
Again, yeah, the game's definitely looking quite different with Darren and Birdie serving.
Around him. Game.
Game to the service. 1 game all.
All right, quick 4 points on the trot.
And yeah, I guess it just shows you 1 game down the serving end and
Yeah, it can look remarkably different.
it's different. What a shot.
15 love.
Calm as you like.
Yeah, some good deception there by Barney. I think Darren maybe thought that was a fat boast coming in.
And again.
2 in a row.
Oh.
Has a second gallery. 15 love, 1 chase. Love.
Spun.
Vote. Time.
Any chases?
What has a second?
Wow. Oh my god.
He's got it.
15.
We're trying to get a bounce winning gallery there. Another chance.
Oh.
Darren might have taken bounce grill on there. Might have been a slightly easier angle.
Popped up.
Yeah. Definitely like Darren and Birdie's chances of success a little more from the service end.
Yeah, yeah.
Did that go bounce? I went Bandow after the bounce.
Couldn't quite tell. Let's have a look
Okay.
at this one. Yeah, I think so.
After that. Yeah, absolute roller. It's a great shot.
40-30 to the receivers. Hazard second gallery. Hazard. Oh.
Yeah, nice finish there by Darren.
Games to 1.
All right, 2-1.
Love. Vote.
You. God, man, it's a good angle.
15-0.
potential.
30-15.
And Freddie's starting to become a little bit more active on that left side and up at those galleries, cutting more off.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, just
40-15.
beautiful shot there by Barney.
No, I
Don't think Freddie saw that one.
Juice.
Here we go.
Head the wood.
Where'd the ball go?
Advantage to the receivers.
It was in off the post, went sideways and hit the back tray. Definitely sounded wooden, so great call there by the marker.
Game to receivers.
Wow.
3 games to 1.
40-15 up.
Yeah, we didn't think they were favourite there, but managed to kind of sneak that game there, go up 3-1.
Love. I thought it was just good.
I know, you were like... Distracting.
Both. Chase the door.
Get a slightly different strategy there from Darren when he gets a backhand. I think he realises the importance of them serving.
Love.
Wow.
Yep, took it there by Barney.
Get some balls, please, gents. Thank you.
All that here. So we have a lot of different sort of rules and outcomes in points. Is there anything about the game of real tennis that you would maybe change with the rules or anything to do with the game?
Yeah, I mean, so for example, whenever I teach a beginner the chases,
Yes.
I start by telling them instead of straight away going into telling them about the names, the last gallery, yard worst, second gallery, I just say, look, the numbers stop at 6, but in your mind I want them to carry on 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I find that really helps them understand that rule.
It's an interesting way to do it, yeah.
And therefore, from a viewer's perspective, to make it more accessible to watch, I would think about making that change to turn those names into numbers, and therefore it would make it a lot easier to understand.
Might provide a little bit more logic to newer players. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
40 love to the receivers. Chases the door.
Because I find that people,
Chase
once
the
they
door.
get that rule, you know, about when it comes to a number, beating a chase, they get that, and it's quite easy to get to that point when you start bringing in the names of the chases. That's when it becomes more difficult to understand. People get lost because they think they've got it. Then you introduce more complex rules and bring in those names, and that's when it becomes really confusing.
And at what point would you explain to the beginners about the rules and chases?
So I tend to explain the rules with using the numbers, and I explained that we change ends if we've got one chase and a game point, or we've got two chases, and then we'd usually leave it there for the first lesson or for the first time, and then let's say we then start playing a game, I'll kind of slowly introduce the other parts of it.
But at what hour would this be? Would be hour 1, hour 5 on court? Which?
Oh, I see. Oh,
just a bit by there.
Yes, I'll always try and give them a little taste in the first hour.
Okay.
Towards the end of the hour. Again, just bringing in those numbers and how to beat a chase effectively. I'll try and explain up to that point where it's, right, this is how you create a chase, this is how you earn, this is how you beat a chase, and this is when we play the chase. But I won't sort of, 10 minutes max on that, yeah.
40 love to the service, chases
In my opinion, it's easy to pick up as they go along, as they play games, and there's no rush on the rules, I think. Some 5. Oh, what a finish.
Yeah, nice finish. Yeah, so
3 games all, 3 all.
Another quick push by Barney and Freddie, and all of a sudden we're tied up at 3s.
Love. Bolts.
Give it a back.
30 love.
And a couple of good accurate forces there by Birdie on some, not the tightest serves I've ever seen Barney serve.
Chase better in the second gallery. 30 love, 1 chase.
Wow.
15, 30. Or 1 chase. Out of court, 40, 31 chase.
Another game point to Bertie and Darren.
Yeah, better than second. I mean, Birdie hasn't had a ton of success with the railroad. Let's see if he perseveres and see if he can serve a little bit tighter. It's like he's getting ready to serve a railroad.
Looks that way.
Better than second gallery. Game to service, 4 games to 3, third
So interesting, on a chase like that, just give a bit of insight, Steve. So you're playing chase better than second gallery. Would you always recommend both players staying at the back or someone covering the last gallery?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good question. It's going to depend on, you know, a variety of factors, and, you know, what you're going to serve, what the returner is most likely going to hit, how accurate are they, what's their, you know, risk tolerance. Do they think they're going to be able to hit last, but then there's a risk of hitting second?
Votes. Chase the door.
To answer your question, I would probably most likely hang back slightly on that first ball, knowing that they're unlikely to take a pop for last gallery at that risk of hitting in a second and losing the point.
Thank you. Out of court, 15 all.
But then as the rally develops, kind of see how your opponents are shaping up, particularly if they've got a ball under the grill. Yeah, it's trouble written all over it. I'd love to have seen Darren volley that ball step up.
Oh, it's unleashed on that backhand.
40-15, one chase.
Yeah, that was a really good swing at it by Freddie. Top shot and good defense by Bird as well.
So now playing Chase the Door. Be interesting where Freddie lines up for this rally. Where would you be standing if you were covering the galleries here?
40-15 to the service. Chases the door.
Yeah, Chase the Door, definitely you're covering second and last. You've got to give away Chase the Door. It's maybe chase off, but definitely protecting the sides there.
Both.
There we go. 4 games all.
4 games all. 4 all.
I'm always backing Tanfield and Bristowe in these games. When it gets close, they always find themselves on the serving end, just looking really strong. Shot from Darren. Wow. Oh, that's fantastic play. Not much more Darren can do.
Again, they just seem to dial it up a little more, and to your point, which I thought was a very valid one, they always seem to be at the service end.
I think same point last set, 4 all, and it was pretty much, I think, if I remember correctly, it was a comfortable game from the serving end. Oh, that was the chance.
Yeah, he definitely wants that one over again. Yeah, they seem to find another gear, and the serve is no longer floating halfway up the back wall. It's pretty tight, forcing Birdie to chip, and then they're in the box seat. Oh, that's commentator's curse right there.
30-40.
See if they can take this next point.
Chase the door.
What they
40-30.
needed. Chase the door.
So, yeah, talking about your question from earlier on about better than second, where would I stand? What would you do with that first return? If it's better than second chase you're trying to beat, and you've got a somewhat tight serve. Your first shot, are you going for last gallery, or are you just doing something else?
I think it's pretty.
Let's
just see this point. Yeah, if you haven't got the angle for the, it's very unlikely that the serve is going to give you that angle, right, for the last gallery. If they do, there's probably someone standing there. Chase the door. Huge point in this set. Oh, he's missed the Wow. Back to Juice.
A little unlucky there for the receivers, but well left by Darren.
Chase Bone 4 yards, no stroke. Sorry, Juice, 1 chase.
No stroke.
Kind of maybe the shot he should have played on Chase the Draw on the last point.
Fault!
Oh, wow. Done well.
Hopefully he hasn't rolled his ankle there. He looked like he maybe
You right, Darren?
lost his footing a little bit.
Yeah, going back to the question, so if you're a receiver playing better than the second, I feel like you don't have too many options. Going to that down the backhand side is a bit risky because you've likely got someone up the court defending the last gallery. So probably a drive into the forehand corner or just a heavy cut into the forehand corner. Try and get yourself in control of the point and wait for your opportunity.
Score is Juice. First chase is better than 4 yards.
Yeah, definitely trying to put some pressure in that forehand corner, but being mindful that you're giving your opponent the angle towards and hitting towards the hazards. So it has to be a pretty good shot into that corner. Something like that.
Oh. Oh, Freddie.
Defense.
No. Chance. There it is.
Really well played by all the guys there. Yeah, a ton of pressure and just didn't have a great angle with that ball being so tight in the main wall. So, yeah, really good patience shown there by Freddie.
Get how close we are to the court.
All right, must be now for Darren and Birdie. Could be the final game of the match.
It's up to you. One more.
15 love. Thanks, Darren.
That's generous, I think, for Darren. It was close to being a hazard. What did you think, Steve?
Pretty tight. Again, pretty little, it just seemed too close to call, but I would have loved to have seen Birdie just assume that that was going to be a stroke and then be over the ball and then choose to leave it, as opposed to just plan his feet and just hope it's going to be a hazard. As you know, hope is not a strategy.
Good hit, Percy. Great defense.
Yeah, this is too
Great
good.
play.
Brings up double match point.
Oh. Could be it. Game, set, and match. Bristowe and Tanfield will be seeing yourself and John on Sunday.
Yeah, look forward to playing Barney and Freddie. It's going to be a big challenge, but we're looking forward to it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Next up, we'll have Nino Marola and Lewis Williams playing against Vaughan Hamilton and John Woods Casey in around 20 minutes. Should be an awesome match. Hope you can tune in.
Thank you, guys.